to my channel. So it is September, and for those of you who have been here for a while, you know that September is always the end of my books, and it's time to start all the fun new content, including my year in my bullet journal flip through video. So this is actually my third year bullet journaling, and even though it's been feeling like it's a lot longer than that, it's nice to go through the whole year and kind of see the ebbs and flows of how it progressed. I'll get more into how I felt about this whole year progression of designing these layouts, but make sure you stay tuned for the next few weeks, because September's a little bit of a love-hate relationship for me, just because there's so much prep to do for my other channel for October, but also like because it's also the end of my books, like it's 3 bullet journaling videos in 1 month, which I'm not used to, but you know, we're trucking through it. But I do really enjoy flipping through and starting new books. It's just a lot of editing time, so very, very busy. So let's just get into it before I like continue blabbering on. Alright, so here are the 2 books that I used this year. This one is the first half, so let's just crack in and get started. So this first book, I was so excited when Notebook Therapy came out with it, because not only was it blue, but having a sea theme. Freaking love that. I'm obsessed with sea life animals. So very excited about that. And plus, like this one, the cover for this is velvet, and I just love how that feels. It's just so freaking pretty. And this book actually held up quite well, except for the very end of the year. It started to break a little bit, so you'll see it soon where I had to touch it up with washi tape, but overall it did hold up pretty well. So just be aware of that if you do buy this book. I'll leave the link to it in the description if you're interested. So cracking this open, oh, I missed a page, whoops. Cracking this open, I just did a quick little, actually let's zoom this in now because have to show 2 books. Anyway, so I just quickly did my name, but I hate my natural handwriting, so I used a font from another font generation site. Don't remember what the font is, but I usually just like look through calligraphy and then pick the one that I like the best. And this page I've done in the past 2 years, but as the time goes on, I don't feel the need I need to do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's fun to just decorate up this page and to have a quick look on how the calendar layout should be for each month, because I like to start my month at Mondays, not Sundays, and every other calendar on like tech and stuff always starts on Sunday for some reason. I never understood that, so that's why I've decided to just keep that page. And my goals page. So as I've said in previous setups, I like to start my books at the beginning of my birthday, which is October, so that's why I always put the age that I am instead of the year that it is. So this first half of the year, I was able to accomplish a decent amount of goals, well, the focuses, I mean, but unfortunately none of my goals and dreams got achieved, but that's hard to do in 6 months, so I was trying not to beat myself up about it. Future log, so I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I did decide to do more of like a blue theme for my setup for this book, since the book is actually blue, right? So I thought that'd be cute. And yeah, I didn't have a fit enough to put in March, so I was like, hey, whatever, it's not a really huge deal, because as soon as February is up, I'm gonna be making March anyway, so I didn't feel like adding a whole new page just for 1 month. Index, I don't really need it, honestly. The only time I've actually needed it is if I've forgotten my book at home when I needed to be at work and know how to close, and I needed to tell my mom, okay, the instructions on how to close are on this page. So that's the only time it's really been helpful, but I'll probably still put an index just for future reference when I eventually look back at these books, when like 10 years or whatever, and always have an extra page for a quote. So stuck with another Casey Neistat quote as per usual. So many YouTube videos to go through, but I feel like I'm talking too much, so we're just gonna start flipping through until we get to really intense pages. Maybe move this over a little bit. And actually, I'll talk about this real quick. So I didn't really fill out too many of my memories here, but I wanted this area to not be like a true diary, just to be like little pieces on like the happiest memories throughout the 6 months, so I could have something to look back on instead of like anything negative. But I didn't really fill out that much. My first 6 months of the year wasn't really filled with too many happy memories, so yeah, I'm gonna give myself less pages next time. Alright, right, so first theme of the month. I remember this theme that the cover page here took me so long and I was super frustrated with it, but overall, like, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'm not going to be redoing another Jack theme. Like, I'm pretty satisfied with how this turned out. And I think that it's my favorite setup out of this entire year, if I'm being completely honest. But if you guys have been on this channel for a while, that will come to no surprise to you. And this is definitely my favorite schedule page. I'm glad I redid it from my very first year of trying to do aesthetic looking bullet journal spreads. Yeah, it was a good move to redo it. And of course, my favorite mood tracker. When I released this video, I actually got a lot of comments on my video and in my personal life saying they loved the mood tracker, and arguably it took longer than freaking this drawing did. Like, drawing that many pumpkins was time consuming, but I was also at Claire's full time, so whenever it was dead in the store, I would just draw. That's the only way I was able to get this done while working full time. If it was actually busy throughout that entire month at work, there was no way I was gonna be able to get this done. And I wanted to challenge myself with this theme, so that's why every weekly spread has some kind of huge drawing on it. Took a lot of time, but I am so proud, especially this Oogie Boogie. Like, he took forever, but he looks so good, and I'm so proud of myself for sticking through it and getting it done. This part's a little bit wonky, but I didn't have like a easy drawing to base it off of. I literally had to watch the movie and pause it to try to reflect it as much as I could, and I was in such a rush to get it done that I just didn't do that great of a job, but it's fine. The main concern was that one. And this I was so upset about. So the next setup is Winnie the Pooh, and I tried to find the color for Eeyore, and the only one I found was like a Copic marker, and this is the first and only marker I've used on my bullet journals that have actually bled through. So when I discovered that it bled through on a 0 page, I was like so upset, but you live and you learn. So I'll link the one you should not be getting if you want to use it in your bullet journal. Like, just don't do it. Just use it for stamps. Just don't do it. Now, November was a bit of a stressful month, even though it was Winnie the Pooh and it was supposed to de-stress me. Yeah, things were going wrong at work, so I just had no time for working out. I had no time to upload videos. Like, it was a rough time. Not the most pleasant of times. This was also the main reason why I was so upset, because my hard drives completely broke down. The ones that I had, like, at least 3 years worth of content on that hadn't been released on my other channel, so extremely stressful, lots of lost sleep, but they were able to fix it. So if you have any issues with your hard drives or data recovery or anything like that, I'm gonna leave them linked below just in case you have that problem. But back up everything you own multiple times. Learn from my mistakes. Alright, so we are on December. This is my second favorite setup of my entire, I would say not just this year, but like my entire attempts at doing aesthetic bullet journaling, which has only been 2 years so far, but I'm sure this is gonna uphold. I drew this when I was sick with COVID and quarantined for 2 weeks, and it took me 8 hours to do this drawing and ink coloring. My mom wanted me to do it in color, but I was like, no, we're sticking with the original and just doing inks, black and white, because I could not put an extra time in this, but I was so proud of myself for sticking through. This is definitely my hardest and proudest drawing I've ever done. And plus, like, this setup was another reattempt because I tried to do it in 2019 and it just like failed hard. So I really wanted to put in my all with this one, and it turned out better than I expected. I'm very, very happy with this setup.
This was time consuming to draw also, all those little ticks of the wreath, but I just was drawing these spreads while Mom and Dad and we were all quarantined, but we all watched Christmas movies almost every single day throughout December, so that was really nice. And COVID didn't actually affect us too badly. Like, it kind of just felt like a really half-assed cold, so I'm really thankful it didn't actually like really hurt us like it did a lot of other people. All right, going into January, so praying that 2021 was gonna be better. It wasn't by much, if I'm being completely honest, but it got a lot better closer to the end of this year, so that's good. But this was the first video on my channel that cracked 1,000 views, so I was very pleasantly surprised, but also very confused, because I was like, what makes this setup so much different than the other ones that I put way more time into? So I was a little confused on that, so if you guys have any theories, let me know. The algorithm is a strange thing. But it was also a recreation of an old spread I tried to do in 2019. I liked having the pure white paper this time and thought I could do it better justice, and clearly the views on that video show that it was worth redoing. And this is where it started, my bullet journal started to break. So I didn't have like Snow White washi tape, otherwise I would use that to stick with the theme, but this was the closest I had, so it's fine. It's all good. And also these penguins were incredibly easy to draw. If you are curious to the artist, I did leave their link in the description of this setup video. It's February, so I wanted to have a simpler month because I was trying to go into like hyperdrive, because January was actually when I quit Claire's full-time to switch back to part-time to try to like do this content creation thing full-time. So this was the first month that I was getting back into editing, not just like decluttering everything. So I wanted to keep it simple, and it ended up not being incredibly simple. When I tried to draw cinema roll, it looks easy, but for some reason I was struggling with it. So then that's when I went back to stickers and washi tape for the rest of it. But it's so cute and pink. My mom really liked this pastel look. Alright, so now we are at March. So this one was another one that did quite well on my channel, but I kind of saw that coming just because most people my age love Harry Potter, so I was like, yes. And I hadn't seen too many setups of people doing of specific houses, just they were doing like Harry Potter in general, so I really wanted to tackle Slytherin, and that was really fun, but really hard to do.
I am so sorry, guys. I didn't even realize that I accidentally skipped the schedule page for this, and I don't have a nice enough photo of it. So if you're curious on what it looks like, the card is just right up there. Again, so sorry.
And it was also when I had the idea to make another new short film, and I did not think it was going to take me that long. I was like, oh, I can get this done in a month. Yeah, no, 6 months later. It's finally went up yesterday, so that took a while. And it was also when I was trying to work on my closet clean-out video and get it done, and I was able to get it done. It just didn't get released until recently. There was a lot of script work here for that big video. 3 drafts to finally get it, and writing's not a strong point for me, so it was hard for me. And then more script writing for my voiceover for my closet clean-out video. Even though writing scripts is quite hard for me, I did find that it improved my overall video tenfold and just made things more professional and just more enjoyable to watch, so I'm definitely going to continue down that road. And again, another draft for the short film thing. I'll leave the link to it if you guys are curious on it, but yeah, it took a lot of time and I'm very proud of it. Very, very proud of it indeed. Alright, and that is the end. Oh wait, nope, one more page. Oh, I must have left this blank page and then didn't end up drawing anything on it. Whoops. So last weekly spread for this. Now it's the end of it. So I was originally going to use these extra pages as just like drawing extra Slytherin things, but then I ended up running out of time. And this is where the book was also falling apart, so I had to tape it with some washi tape. Yeah, you can see it's having a time. Are you going to focus for me? Yeah, it's having a time. So I have to be really careful with it. So I'm glad I'm not actually using the book anymore and it can just be on my shelf as a display piece. So let us go into the second half of the year. So this one, it was originally bought because I thought I was going to be going to Japan in April, but that ended up getting canceled again because of coronavirus. So having the Fuji didn't end up quite working out the way I was hoping, but I was like, I'm not going to just not use the book because of that. So this one, since it has like the pink bookmarks and it's more closer to the pink hues, that is why I did a pink theme. So I ended up not doing pink for this. I probably should have, but I did the exact same font that I did for the other book to open it up, and did the same type of setup, but with pink aesthetics instead of blue. And slightly different fonts, just to change it up a little bit. Oh, and I will say, I flipped this because the other one ended up being a little bit more pink, so I flipped this to be blue just so it still like works. But I go into detail on like my thought process on it when I made this video. So far I haven't been able to fill out the rest of the memories, but I'm sure there'll be more good memories throughout the month. For September, I actually want to fill in some more today because of my big video finally getting out. But obviously I'm going to show you this because this is all blurred out in post. So this is another theme that I decided to redo. I liked my Kirby theme from last year, but the video quality wasn't great for how well these spreads looked, in my opinion, so I wanted to take a stab at refilming it and making it a little bit more intense, and I'm very pleased with it. I think I did a good job. Especially this schedule page. I think it looks way better than my first attempt. So this one is another reattempt of one of the weekly spreads I tried. I was trying to just make it look like a section of the game, and I think I did a better job this year too. Just every time I tried to redo a theme, I just think I amped myself up a lot better, so very happy with redoing some of those themes, but I don't think this next year is gonna have any redo themes. I think I'm satisfied, so it's gonna be all brand new stuff. More blank pages I was going to do more Kirby drawings on, so if I somehow have time to do that in September, I'll probably fill out these pages and put them on my Instagram. But knowing how many videos I have to get out this month, I doubt that's going to actually end up happening. This one was a bitch. This took so long to draw, way longer than I thought it was going to, and this video was very late on my channel, but when the month was finally done and I was finally done drawing everything, I was very pleased with it, and it was worth the struggle. This was my favorite drawing I did of Alistair. I thought it was going to be the cover page, but this one ended up being my favorite. I thought he could fit in here, but then I ended up making his proportions a little bit too big, so that's why he's overlapping the schedule page. But I was so into this month already that it really didn't make me annoyed or anything. I thought it still looks quite good. And each spread I tried to base on angel dust instead of Alistair. Alistair was kind of like the main focus before the weekly spreads. But like this page, for example, I saw these swirly things in the music video Addict, and I thought it looked really cool, so that's where I got the inspiration for that part. And also this is supposed to be a stripper pole, so I don't know if that worked out quite well, but I mean, to me, I know what it looks like, so that's enough for me. Alright, so after that hard-ass month, I just wanted an easy drawing one, so I went back to basing my themes on sticker sheets that I have in my drawer, and I had a bunch of pusheen left, and after this theme was done, I had no more pusheen stickers left, so I successfully did this theme, I think. And this was kind of a redo theme too. I did a little bit of pusheen in, oh, I missed a page. Little bit of pusheen in February 2019, but it did not look like it was specifically pusheen. There was a mix of like elephants and pusheen. It was very confusing, so that's why I wanted to do a solely pusheen thing to make it very understandable. And I'll probably do an elephant theme later on at some point. Alright, so July, since the weekly spreads for June ended up on like halfway through the week, I didn't really feel like having an empty page here just to have 2 pages for like a quote page and a cover page, so I just was like, nah, well, you can just do the cover page, that's fine. And I tried to make it like a moon celestial blue theme because I had these stickers for that, and it ended up just evolving into mostly celestial blue. Not my favorite spread at all, honestly. It was probably like my least favorite out of everything this year. But I don't hate it. It's just definitely not the most impressive to me, so I think it's gonna have to go on the bottom tier. I was very burnt out by the end of this month. Like, this month actually ended up being very stressful for me, even though I had a vacation for a week. The vacation itself wasn't stressful, but like stuff after it ended up being more stressful, and just before it, so it was just a lot. It was a lot, so I don't really favor July that much. But I can still acknowledge some pages look really pretty, like this one. This one I based off of one of Amanda's spreads for packing, and I just kind of like made the colors and added my own quote page. And this was my favorite drawing of the month. It's just so freaking cute, like, And then more brain dump stuff. I was planning a shoot that I wanted to do in August or this month, but ended up having to get canceled because of work, so I'll have to reschedule that again. But now I'm glad that I finally like figured out the aesthetics of it. So August, I actually thought this video for this month was going to do a lot better than it did, but that's okay. I'm very actually happy with it. I was thinking, oh, you know, I just did a blue theme for July, I should do pink theme for August, and it ended up turning into a strawberry theme. Sakura and strawberries, and it's just so cute. I really like how it turned out. It was supposed to be based on just like these stickers, but the sticker sheet had the candies and strawberries, so that's kind of how it evolved. And for these spreads, actually, some of them got shown on Notebook Therapy's thing, so I was very, very pleased with that. That's the first time I've been on a featured page, and I was very proud of myself for that. But it makes sense. I mean, I used their book and their washi set to do it, so that makes total sense. September. All right, so we're on this month. This one, I wanted to make it a bit easier for myself, but it ended up taking a little bit longer, but I had a lot of fun with it. I like being able to do more scrapbooky things at the end of books, because, you know, then if anything's a little bit too bulky, like, you're not gonna have a problem, like, writing on the other side. That's why I decided to do that. So yeah, I based the theme around these cards, and I go into more detail on the setup video, so I'll link that too. But yeah, it ended up turning to like this aristocratic, fallish theme. And obviously it's not fully filled out yet because it's not at the end of the month, but at the beginning of each month, I actually do all of the weekly spreads. So you'll basically see how this whole month is gonna play out regardless. I went a little bit too fast there, sorry about that. It actually really works having to bulk up all of my weekly spreads at the very beginning of the month. It just makes the rest of the month flow so much faster. Bulk content creation is just working wondrous. I didn't think it was gonna work that well, but holy crap, it really is. Alright, so we are at the end of the book. I have a lot of extra pages. I didn't realize I had this many, but I think for the rest of the pages, I'm just going to be doing probably like pictures I might want to draw. Doubtful, just because I'm really busy this month, but it'll probably just be a huge like reflection diary area that I'll do, but treating like more like a real diary, just like all my overarching thoughts of the year. And realistically, I could use the rest of these pages. Like, there is enough to do October, but I really like starting new books with October, so yeah, it's just gonna stick to a reflections of this whole year diary entry, I think. Even though it still pains me to have that many pages extra, but you know what? It's definitely time to start a brand new book. And this is what they look like from the side. Extremely girthy. So it's a good thing they always have these wraparound things. This one ended up being way more girthy despite having less pages in them, just because of the scrapbook thing. You can see how thick that is. Like, that's a thick boy. But I'm surprised that this one's holding up better than this one, despite having more paper. So that's kind of surprising. I wonder why that was. That's the thing. So maybe it's just this specific book. Not really sure, but yeah. And actually, let me know in the comments which one was your favorite spread from the entire year. Was it the Jack Skellington October theme like mine was, or was it something completely different that I wouldn't have even thought it would be? Yeah, let me know, and I will see you guys in the outro. Always really awkward with the ends of these videos.
Alright guys, so that was the entire flip through of my third year bullet journaling. I definitely felt like there was a kind of a major shift in this year since I decided to take a breather from doing the harder, more intensely drawing layouts halfway through the year because I got quite burnt out. It's basically like a whole year and a half of just doing like hard layouts, so no wonder I got burnt out. But that's okay, I'm not gonna let myself get burnt out again. Prepare for the big videos coming up, because you know I love to go all out for October, so especially be prepared for that. But the next video is my 4th bullet journal setup for the brand new year. And hopefully you guys can take some info from it if you are deciding to start if you are deciding to start bullet journaling, or if you start your guys' years in a random part of the year, except for like January compared to like other bullet journalers. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next Scrappy Wednesday. Bye!